So you will have no pressure at all. You will be dealing just with yourself. It's an uncompetitive world that you will be living into. So one of the very simple yet complicated question that we can ask is, who do you think you are? Just ask this, and you will, most of the time in the chat box, I will see that the people will be answering, I'm Radha Singh, I'm so and so. The first thing you do is put your name attached to it. Were you born with that name? Yes, when you were born, this name was given to you by your parents or someone else, right? And so many other things was given to you. So keep thinking more deep. Who do you think you are? What kind of a person you are? And when you're not comfortable and not very sure, you just need to be yourself. It's one of the very simple advice anyone can give it to you, or you can pass it on to anyone else. It's simple, right? The word itself, just, it's so simple. Just be yourself. The minute we were incarnated on this planet Earth, we were all given a life sentence. Trust me, right? Some of you sitting here, maybe 90 years of life, maybe me, 82 years. We don't know that. We don't know that. Nobody knows the total lifespan, how long we have got here to live. But what we know here is that it's only one life. There is no spare life that you can experiment with. Or if I fail and if I give up, then the spare one I'll take out from the back of my car like it's a wheel changing and now I can run again. No, darling, you only have one life. So you need to use your life as your very unique gift and keep moving ahead, right? So let me just take you two places where as a person you are very good at being yourself. The first one is when you are under the age of 7 years. When you go to a kindergarten and you go to a class of 5-year-old and you ask, who is the strongest person here? Every single hand in that room will rise and they'll say, me. They will all be strongly competitive. They'll all be happy. They'll be gleaming and they'll be like, yes, I have got all this strength. The same question asked to the 8-year-old. Who is the strongest one in this class? And some of the bunch of students will point at one person. He is the strongest one. He's the funny guy. He's the smart guy. She is the beautiful one. So see the group of 7-year-old, under 5-year-old, how this has changed when they are 8-year-old now. So the thoughts and the society and the conditioning around makes you keep changing your personality, and it kind of makes you belong to one kind of a group. We were all born with those capabilities, but slowly it starts deteriorating or segregated, all because of the labels and the tags that we've got from the world. And the other place that you're extremely good at being at yourself is when you're wrinkly, right? When you're an elderly person, because you know that there are more summers behind you than they are ahead of you. You are so honest with everything. Everything seems all very true to you. So there is no fake world. So these two extreme point in life, you are actually being good at being yourself. But the bit in the middle is the problematic bit. And it is the bit that actually expects you to be more adaptive. It is the bit that expects you to be more accommodative. And it is the bit where you need to socialize with other people. And if you don't know how to handle yourself, how are you going to handle the world? How are you going to handle the people around you? So it's all about establishing that confidence with your and connecting with your inner self, and therefore moving forward. I've created this. If you look into these circles, the inner circle, the innocent at birth. We're all born innocent at birth, and that's the beautiful beginning anyone can have. Believe me, every single human, we were all born with the same kind of a strength and universal energy that were given to us. But the minute you're born, you'll hear the doctors or the nurses announcing before you know about your gender, congratulations, he's a boy, congratulations, it's a girl, right? Or little bit more you grow and they say, oh, she looks so much like her mom. He is a smart guy, just like his dad. Or if you're very good at your work, then say like, you know what, he got this quality from his uncle or somebody. So your strength, remember the 5-year-old, the strength actually started creating that confusion. Oh wait, hang on a second, so do I belong to this or that? Oh okay, people are saying, so let me accept this, I don't like this bit, so I'm going to leave it. So you, all the confusion and the self doubt start creeping into yourself, and that's, you start blaming yourself for the problems, and it is the result of all the imperfect world that we live in today. And as that circle expand, you look outside for validation, you look for the need for the approval, for people. ah okay, I've dressed up today, I hope I get some compliment. And if people don't compliment, especially if your boyfriend and your partner don't look back and say that you're not looking handsome or beautiful, then you'll say, oh, you know what? Is there something wrong with my dressing? He didn't even said anything. But the expectations, because the validation that you want from outside world start, and you don't rely on your inner self that you are beautiful. Why do you need that validation? And these external forces or focus for validation actually brings your self-esteem down and down and down. Like how Sandeep said that, having a less salt in the food. I mean, if the moment you cook a nice meal for your family, and then you're quiet and you're quiet, and the minute person takes the first bite, then you expect, okay, still people haven't praised. Then somebody says, nice food. Did you like it? Did you like it? I made it with so much of effort.
True.
So you, no matter how much of effort you put in, and the food is good, rather than believing that you've made a good food, you are just waiting to hear that one sentence, and that validation actually, it is nothing but actually letting your confidence, without even knowing, subconsciously a little bit down. So be aware of that. And Aristotle, actually the great philosopher, said that give me a boy under the age of 7 and I'll show you the man, because that's the birth of the consciousness. So you actually can train from that age to how to become a better person, and how to become better of themselves, better version of themselves, by of the things. Now this I complex model, and why I complex model? Because it's all about identity, right? It's about who we are, what do we do, how successful we are, what are we going to do in our life. And you're very much familiar with the superiority complex and the inferiority complex. Superiority complex obviously is the delusion of the grandeur, that I am the most important person in the room, and I am this, I have this car, I have this bungalow, and now my girlfriend is so and so, and I have this job. So this superiority complex actually is, it works from the delusion of the grandeur. And in inferiority have this I am a small syndrome. And it has this self-regard and over modest version of yourself. And you worry too much. Oh my god, what if people pick me? I don't even know the answer of this question. What if the sir points at me, and if he asks me any question, if you're a student. And this, see, these two extreme ends, the superiority and the inferiority, they both are dependent on a group of people. If you belong to superiority complex, you'll always need a set of a group of people. If you belong to inferiority complex, you will always need a group of people. Then only you're going to see that, I'm small. Superior, I am bigger than these people. But the bit in the middle, interiority, is actually, I got it from an author called Caroline McHugh, and very beautifully she explained that interiority is the only place where you don't have any comparison. Try comparing with yourself, and you will draw a blank. It's uncompetitive place, and it's the most relaxing place. You are yourself. You are the way that you are born. If you accept yourself, the world will accept you, right? And I can talk further on the interiority, but I want you to check out how the interiority looks like. So let me play this next slide. Can you see this?
No, the video is not visible.
Okay.
I can hear the audio.
Okay, so this video is actually about this singer, and her name is Jill Scott. Her name is Jill Scott, and she was just about to perform on the stage, and a French filmmaker comes and asks her that, aren't you afraid of going before Erica? Because Erica is another popular singer. So let's watch out her response.
Yeah.
I am the Lady Jill Scott. I am a poet and a singer and a lot of other things. And this is my pimple, Herbert. He arrived today and he decided to stay, so we'll see his performance tomorrow. Fixing me. No, I can't see him. He said, can I see him with my eyes? No. Hey, where's Erica? Go ahead, girl. I really love that woman. We all have our own thing. That's the magic. And everybody comes with their own sense of strength and their own queendom. Mine could never compare to hers, and hers could never compare to mine. Are you nervous? You're going to perform after her? Trying to get your feelings. Have you ever seen me perform?
Have you ever seen me perform? Okay. So yeah, just like how Jill Scott said that we all come here with our own queendom or kingdom. It's just about the matter of time to realize that what your kingdom or the queendom looks like. Okay, the things that come in your way and that stops you being yourself is the perception, how people perceive you, how people see you, and the question, what others think of me, and how to become perception free. Is this validation? And you're totally dependent on this validity, how people want to validate you. So if you want to be part of this group of people those who like to party, late night parties, right? But if you're the one who goes to bed at 10:30 maybe, and you want to be part of that group, but you don't like getting up in the late, so what you do to become that part of that group, you actually change your personality and you change your behavior, and you do such things that so that you can be part of that group. So your original nature wasn't to uh, be up late night, but you've changed it because you wanted to people to think in a certain way. What would you like others to think about you? And the validation, it's called the all the stamps that you get from the outside world, that yes, need to be liked and need to be recognized for your certain behavior, for the kind of personality that you are. So you change and alter to be part of that group. Now it's very important that you become a perception free. If you don't become perception free, then you're sticking in to this changing, constantly changing personalities, because in your life your situations and people are going to be keep changing, and because of the situation and because of the people around you, you keep changing your personality. Imagine you're not building one strong personality of yourself. So keep that in mind, that be true to yourself and don't alter your behavior or action because of the others. So be perception free. And this the last thing that on my slide here actually talks about, how in life we come across these different opportunities in our life, and the time that has gone in the back, no one can go back in time and do things and rectify the things, but what you can do is prepare yourself for the upcoming events, right? Unforeseen futures. But what happens here, these unforeseen possibilities, the interval of possibilities that life is going to bring to you, if you're not ready, oops, okay, there's no electricity, so I'm just going to turn my chair around. And So internet is not going to drop, but yeah, there is no electricity.
All right.
Yeah, so if you want to have these prepared for these interval of opportunities and grab them, you need to be ready for them. And in your smooth moving life, when you are comfortable and things are moving in the way that you want, it's better that you identify yourself and you correct and you make yourself ready. Why to wait for one of the difficult situations when you're in some very deep problem and you feel shattered, and then you have to handle these possibilities, this interval of possibilities. For example, if you get an opportunity to go abroad, right, or you're about to get married, or you get a new job in your life, if you're not prepared, but these changes are not going to be always positive changes. Remind you, these changes are going to bring some of the sudden throw on you, that it can shake you and shake to your inner self, that you don't know what to do in those situations. So you need to prepare yourself in advance, so that if ever you come across such situations, you're very well prepared and ready to handle. Whoever is here in the audience, I don't care how old are you, but I know that you've been building a very strong relationship with your ego. And ego is very important to live in this capitalist world. But how to operate and how to have that kind of a flexible relationship, because that's one another blockage that comes and that stops you from doing things, right? So you have to, what you have to do, you have to hold the ego from its dominant position, pull it back and use it to your service. And that's what you're going to do if you want to progress in life. And have that balance at the two extreme point is known as equanimity, and have that the sense of working not from the extreme ends, right? So look at this, the little picture of the sky. And I always say that, you know, your life is like this magnificent blue sky, which is clear and it's magnificent and it's grand. But yes, it is going to get covered by these gray clouds, or you might experience some rainbow as well. That doesn't stop you being magnificent. It is just very temporary. It's the temporary nature of the cloud that they're going to come and go. You need to be ready for it, that okay, fine, I have accepted this change and this is about to happen, and if this happens, I'm not going to get broke. I'm well prepared. So making yourself aware is also a beautiful step towards being who you are. Now when we, you know, this is one of the message actually about Gandhi ji at the National Museum in Delhi, that my life is a message, was when he was about to embark on a train journey, and the journalist asked him that, Gandhi ji, what's your message for the world? And he said, my life is my message. What else? And so is yours. Your life can be your message too. May not be as big as Gandhiji's, or as big or as good as your peer or other people, but it's your, if you can tap into that inner voice, which you feel it's little broke or not that very happy, if you tap into that voice, you will be able to see the things that beautiful things that the life has to offer you, and things starts unfolding in a good way. Okay, that was all about the background about why inner self, why self-esteem is important. I will be sharing these 5 exercises of mirror work, and you need to practice it with yourself. It's an exercise that you have to do it every single day and repeat it 100 times. If you want it to happen, if you want things to manifest in your life, you need to subconsciously register, you know, in your mind. You must have seen, you know, a lot of finicky kids, those who are a fussy eater and they don't eat, and the family is behind that kid saying, she doesn't eat, she doesn't eat, she doesn't eat, you know what, she eats very less. And the grandmother says like, she's taking too long to eat and she's so slim. So the entire family is saying one negative affirmation, she doesn't eat. result of it, actually her food interest gets depleted even day after day. So the affirmations that we say in our daily life, we have to be very conscious about, especially the ones about ourselves. And this mirror work exercise is technically proven by so many people, and this has helped many people elevating their self-esteem. So if you're ready, I want you to stand straight, have a mirror in front of you. Don't unmute yourself, and say this. Look into the mirror and say this with me. I want to like you, and I'm willing to learn from you. I want to like you, and I'm willing to learn from you. I am open and receptive, as if you are already getting it. So the mirror work exercise is not going to, you're not going to see the change overnight. Aaj bola, and next day, I love you, mode aa gaya. It is a repetitive mode that needs to be registered in your subconscious mind. And before you want to see the result, make it happen every single day for 21 days minimum. I will be sharing 5 of such exercises. You can repeat them every day, or the other also I'll share. The way that the mirror work exercise works is you need to have a journal writing as well. You need to keep on writing your stuff in the diary, that what are the feelings when you're doing this exercise, what are your observation. You need to track the whole behavior, and before going to bed, just kind of, what you've learned from doing this mirror work exercise. The second one is making your mirror your friend. Looking into the mirror, when you see yourself, your reflection in the mirror, then take it as your friend. Take it as your friend, as if she is or he is your friend. And just again, stand straight, sit or straight in front of the mirror, look into your eyes and say this affirmation. I am beautiful. I am amazing. I am easy to love. And each time you pass, you have to say this affirmation. Like I said, that it needs to be said about 100 times. And along with this, you have to prepare a journal exercise. Yeah, monitoring a self-talk is very important, because you need to highlight, your self-love and the connection with your inner voice. So say it that whatever I say to myself, I'll say it with love. I'll not have any hatred. Whatever I say to myself, I'll say it with love. And some of the past actually experiences, we all get across a lot of, traumatic and sometimes very negative experiences of people and the situations. And then when we get emotionally very hurt. We have to make ourselves understand that we can change those negative affirmations into positive, and say that, I am ready to listen to my inner voice. I'm smart and intelligent. And then I realize I'm lovable and I'm worth loving. So again, this journal exercise actually encourages you to write down your negative stories, especially because negative stories pop up a lot of emotions. And unless you're able to get that out of you and write it on the paper, it doesn't eradicate from your life. So experience that. And all the all the good words needs to be replaced with should. And all the list of words that you should be using should be having should, rather than I could, I wish I could, I should have done this, right? There's a change the way that you use these words. Letting go your past is very, very important thing to do. If you are stuck in the past and making your parents or your friends or other people responsible for where you are in your life and all the failures that you've had, I am here because my parents didn't do this, you are never going to progress in your life because you're just stuck there. You have already filled this negative energy in your life when there is no space for new things to come. So you need to let all of these negative things go away. Then only there's going to be ample of space for new things to come into your place. So the affirmation for this is, I am willing to let go. I release, I let go of my old limitations and belief. I am nothing but peace. And by doing that, actually, repeated number of times, it actually starts helping you out in a much, much better way. Building your self-esteem, self-love, like how we've spoke about that, having this affirmation, I'm good enough, I love and approve of myself, is something that we all should be looking into, right? I mean, having that fear that I don't know enough and I don't have enough could be there, but you are good enough already. Remember the circle that I spoke about, that at birth, how we were all born with possible and a capable possibilities and the capabilities inside us. It's about us to explore and stay true to yourself. The moment you start changing your personality, and the moment you, okay, I'm just going to stop this. The moment you change your personality and start being someone else, then you lose out the essence of being who you really are. And that's not what we want in our life. We want to be ourselves. I tell you why. Nobody likes duplicate item. Do you like buying duplicate stuff? I bet you don't. So why do you want other people to have duplicate people? Stay true to your personality. Even if the flaw is there, accept that flaw. Be vulnerable. Be vulnerable, because the moment you are, this is who I am. Accept me, or be with me, or you have a choice. And it's a magical effect. I'm telling you, it's a magical effect. And people don't let you go. If they are close to you, if they trust in you, they don't let you go. They come back to you. So believe in those strengths and capabilities. Friends, finally what I want to say is, when you look into the mirror and you don't say to yourself, I am the best, how can you expect the world to say, yes, you are the best? Think, right? So say first for yourself that you are the best. And with that, I'd like to end the session. Sandeep, I'm open for the questions.
Yes, thank you so much. And I think I will grab a chance to ask a question, because it was an amazing session. I got so many new insights today and the examples I could connect to. And based on the same, I have a question. So I will ask one question from my side and then we'll jump to the question. So guys, you can just put your questions in the comment section so we can take some questions after this. Okay, so what my question here is, so the first example I loved, where you said that, the age when you are 5 and the age when you are almost there, like, you're into your old age. Okay, so you connect to yourself more and deeper at that age, and in between it's all a complex thing, right? So now what is a common thing between somebody who is 5 and somebody who is 85, maybe in the second innings, right? So I feel that at both these ages, at the starting and the ending, they somewhere connect to themselves, because they are not socializing much. They are alone somewhere. They spend more time with themselves, or maybe close people around them. Okay, and they're not into too many people, even a 5-year-old and even somebody who's 85. So can I say that if you really want to connect to yourself and listen to that inner voice, then we need to learn how to be alone and happy together? Can I say this, or is this
it's a personal choice, Sandeep. I mean, a lot of people are social people. They like to go out and be with people. You can be surrounded by a group of people, and still you can get yourself connected and you stay connected with yourself. It's a personal choice whether you want to be with people or without. The connect with the inner self does not actually is going to vary, or it's not going to fluctuate between. In both the situations, you will be connected to yourself if you know how to connect with yourself.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much. And followed by that, one more question which I already got from one of the participants, and that is that at this time in quarantine or COVID situation, we all are blessed with the necessities, with the things we need. Okay. So, but still there's always a but. Okay. So we have everything from our parents, or maybe we are doing good, but then we cannot be grateful all the time. So how can we be happy by then? So what do you want to share on this?
Okay, I'm thrilled to know that people actually have this awareness to kind of accept that they're blessed with everything. So when you're already aware that you're blessed with anything, everything in your life, you're already on a better one step more, right? And you going on the right direction. What I will say is look around and get inspired by the nature. Nature works tirelessly and it gives you back without even asking for anything in return, right? The oxygen that you get, does it ask you anything back in return? No, it's the nature of the nature, right? To give you, to supply you. And we are part of the nature, and we are part of the whole existence, and the incarnation of the whole human beings is actually being part of the nature. So get inspired by the nature and be thankful that they are working tirelessly without anything anything in return. How can I not be? Write down, do a journal exercise and do a gratitude journal. Prepare a gratitude journal. Your list will not end.
Yeah.
So your butt will go.
Yeah. Thank you so much. So we can take the first question from the audience. So so Dr. Sudhir is saying affirmations need to be backed by actions, question mark. Affirmation need to be backed by actions.
Yes, anything starts with affirmations first. So whatever you say, it starts manifesting in your life. So yes, it will be manifested, or it will happen in your life. So you will say that very less people will have that they'll say positive affirmations, but actually they'll do something else. When you're trying for such positive changes in your life, you will start seeing the positive changes back in your behavior and in action. So it is backed by action. Yes.
Yes. So I think I cannot see the name, but then the question is related to quite a few female friend of mine have something called body image issue. So please suggest something for them. So probably they're not liking their body and they're working hard in the gyms to be in the shape, I guess.
Did you see the video of Jill Scott? Did you see the video of Jill Scott? I mean, she's just herself. So again, going back to the same thing, if you don't accept yourself, the world will not accept you. Whether it's a zero figure or it's whatever figure you have, you need to accept yourself. Do not wait for outside validation. And the body image, who's created that body image? Is it just your thought who has created, or is it the other people thought? Think about it very carefully. If it is just your thought, you can control it. It's my thought, it's my image, right? And you can control it, and you be happy with the skin that the God has given you, right? Or that the way that you've been incarnated. There's nothing wrong being with the shape that you're in. There's nothing wrong. You need to accept. The world will accept you the way that you are. So body image is nothing but that's just the delusion of people's mind.
It is still in comparison with other people, that I am this and the other people are in good shape. Is it a
thoughts you can actually control, and it starts that I am not this, and how can, so there are different things. You need to understand what is it that you want in life. Do you want to actually fix your body, or is it just you need to satisfy somebody else's thought? You want to stay this like fat, right? But you want them to think you are beautiful. That's two contradictory statements. So what is it? Do you want to be like this, then be like this, be happy like this. They will accept you like this. But if you're not happy being like this, then you need to do something about this. It's
Right.
like going in the gym and working out.
Mm-hmm.
You will start seeing the result in 21 days time. It's like, when you are a diabetic and you can't have sugar, but when you see a mithai, say, can I have just tiny bit? So you have this intelligence, this intellect that if I take this little bit of a mithai, my sugar is going to go up, but still you take it. So it's up to you that how you want to use that.
Right. I think we have a follow-up question to this. Anup is asking that I have heard that feeling enough stops your growth. So if you have that feeling inside you that I'm okay, I'm the best, I have whatever I want. Okay, so that will stop your growth. That's what he's saying. So I think we were discussing the same thing. So how we can connect this?
Emotions and feelings are actually can get you to the stage that can actually come in the way of your growth. They can start impacting if you are not controlling it. So have emotion, but don't get emotional. Have emotions. It's
Yeah.
good to have emotions. It's good to know what's happening around you and be compassionate or be loved. But when you get overindulged in anything, that's when the downfall starts.
Mm-hmm.
That's when the blockage of the growth starts, because then you're just letting it flow everywhere. So being aware of it, good, but yes, it does come in your way if you're not doing it with the good control.
Right. Yes, Kabir, you're raising your hand. If you have any question, you can unmute yourself and you can ask if you want. Okay. I'll read one more question from Pallavi Joshi, and she's saying most of the time inner voice says to procrastinate, also give many excuses. How to control it all the time? So the inner voice itself is telling them that let's not do it today, tomorrow.
Okay. Procrastination, first of all, how do you know it's an inner voice? How do you know it's an inner voice? If it's an inner voice, it will never ever leave you in agitation or in a kind of anxiety mode. So if you are in an anxiety about anything, that's not going to be your inner voice, right? So procrastination, you can push it for a day if it's giving you a lot of comfort, but pushing it for another day and piling up a lot of work, so doing 10 days of work in one day and getting all of the anxiety, is it going to be sought out? So you need to be very aware of the fact, what do you want? Do you want to do it for one day or for the 10 days? So it's always relative, time relative, that how much of a procrastination can be absorbed by you, that you're able to handle it. And it's never the inner voice is only going to be when you have this peace feeling. That's where the inner voice comes from.
Right. So we need to be peaceful. We need to be calm to connect to the inner self.
Yes.
And I think my first question, I am coming back to the first question, that I personally felt this in my life, that whenever I want to connect to my inner self, okay, whenever I want to, be myself and trying to understand who I am, I need to cut off from that noise which is around. And maybe I have done this several number of times. Maybe I'm deleting my social media apps for 2 weeks, or maybe I'm just trying to be alone and not meeting people, and that helped me somewhere. I'm not sure that it will help everyone, but that helped me to connect and understand my own feelings about
Everybody needs
myself.
to understand how the mind operates. There
Yeah.
is a different level of your body, mind, and intellect. The mind is a monkey mind. It keeps chattering all the time, all the time. Even when you're spending a time alone, it keeps taking you back into the future. It slips back into the future, or actually, it will take you to the future which is unseen. So to control this monkey mind, which is continuously hovering over your head, you need a peaceful time. Yes, you're right. And if you are one of those personalities who wants to have more focus with yourself and with your mind, then it's better that you cut off, because then, and once you have made the good control on your mind, because then your intellect starts operating your mind, and your mind is not going above your intellect. So it's a process. It takes about 6 months maybe, by training your mind and quietening it. And then whether you are in a peaceful place, or you are in a less peaceful place, or a noisy place, you will be able to get the desired result that you want in your life.
Yeah, true, very true. Thank you so much for this. Yeah, I think how much time we have? Can we take some more questions?
A couple more.
Yeah. So Shubham is asking a question, that how can we eliminate self-doubt permanently and not for a short-term thing? So I got this question from Shubham. So he's trying to say that every time we attend something, or maybe we speak to our mentors or read a book, for some time we are on a track, but later, maybe after a few months, then we again get into comparison or something, and we are doubting on self.
Okay,
How can we?
great question, Shubham. And to have that kind of wisdom, to kind of have a check on yourself, that I have a self doubt. Half of the problem is solved. That yes, you have a problem, and how to fix that problem now. For a self doubt, you need to constantly be looking into yourself and tapping into your inner voice, and do such exercises that doesn't give you agitation, that doesn't give you any kind of anxiety. It could be things like mirror work, it could be mindfulness, it could be speaking to a close friend, it could be talking to a mentor. But make a chart somewhere where you know that you're checking on it, like on a weekly basis. That But self-doubt doesn't come in without you letting yourself vulnerable to other people. It will only creep in when you start worrying about your, am I looking good or not so good, or am I speaking well or not so well. It's about you being authentic to yourself, and the doubt will go forever. Just be yourself. Let those people accept you as you are, and the world will change. I've experienced that in my college life, because there was this phase when I had to be in a hostel, and I could get into the hostel only because of my sister, and the certificates that I provided were not appropriate, because my original certificates were all stolen, and something complicated. And I was so furious that if my friends would get to know, they will hate me. But they didn't leave me. Nobody hated me. They got to know, and they all accepted me for whatever situations that I was in. We create this fear feeling for ourselves, and we live in that fear for a while, and it settles down. So it's all a mind game. It happens here, and it settles down here only.
Yeah. So also I want to ask, will the higher purpose will help to eradicate the self-doubt? If I have a purpose bigger than me, or maybe something I really want to do?
Always higher purpose actually help in your life. You need to have a higher purpose in your life to be able to move from the lower ladder to upper ladder, and the self-doubt starts getting less. You need to have a purpose.
Yeah, it's a very big topic, so we'll discuss this in some other session. But then, yeah, I think Kabir want to say something. He's raising his hand. So Kabir, you can unmute yourself and share if you want to quickly.
Yeah, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Before I could ask the question, it was a really very well articulated, presentation, and the insights that you've just shared has really helped a lot of people, including me. So I am actually a personality development coach. I'm also a human behavior expert, and I wanted to attend this and see what value add it'll get to me. And let me tell you that it was really good, and I could learn and pick up a lot of things which I can actually use it for my presentations as such. There is one thing that probably I wanted to ask, a little bit ambiguity in this question, but then again, I want to have a clarification from someone like you who's an expert. Whenever we go ahead and talk to the younger generation, this is a a vastly used sentence where you say you just got to be yourself. And whenever we say to them that you just got to be yourself, No, the majority of the people that we deal with, for example, I deal with, I know for sure that they are into certain things which are probably not supposed to be at their age. And for that matter, there are things which probably we don't appreciate at this point of time, and never will we appreciate those things. I just don't want to mention what those things are, but then again, it's like uh, not really appreciated. And most of the people, the youngsters that I come across, have in fact started believing in a concept called nihilism, which says that there's no meaning to life, and why are we born, why are we dead, and if we are dead, then where are we gone, and what are we going to do? I mean, what if we achieve everything, and in spite of that we die one day and we go and nobody remembers us, like maybe 50, 100 years down the line. So whenever we are asking them to be themselves, there are some people who I know are probably much into marijuana, or for that matter the weed generation that we've actually come across, because it's become quite a fab nowadays, that you probably go ahead and you smoke irrelevant of your gender or whatever. So they are into weed, they are into marijuana, and they feel that there is no meaning to life, and what they're doing is like this heavy rock metal songs, and probably into the drug culture, or probably into this kind of a things. And whenever we say this to them, that it's okay, I mean, you're being yourself, you're enjoying yourself, you got to actually live your life to the core, irrelevant of the fact that what others are talking and saying about you, because you like it, you go ahead and do it. They take it in a manner that whatever they are doing is absolutely fine, because they don't give a darn about what the society is thinking about them.
Mm-hmm.
Now whenever we come across and we tell them this, that this is not right, then they ask us justifications about how do we define how is it not right, because we have our standards where we say this is right and that is wrong, but according to their standard they feel, what, they know life better than us, which happens in the age of like 18 to 25, which we all already know because we've gone through that age.
Right.
So ma'am, since you've spoken so well, you have such vast knowledge, and I'm glad I have attended your session. I just wanted to know, how do we actually deal with these people, especially when we tell them be yourself, because that's what one of your presentation or slide was talking about. They take it in a very a rightful manner and say, yeah, I'm being myself, and this is what I enjoy, this is what I like, so it's none of anyone's business to interfere into what I do. So that's my question. Sorry, I went a bit long, but I'm sorry.
No, no, no. It's good to have more of a descriptive, better understanding of the question than a very brief one. So, like you said, that any kind of the drugs that youngsters can fall prey to can only give a temporary pleasure. So, what you need, we as a coach need to make sure that we pass this message on to it. Okay, fine. If this uh, drug is giving you pleasure for your rest of your life, right? How long can you sustain? So you finish a pack and you need another one, and then you finish a pack and then you need another one. So it's not like a forever thing. It has this fixed life, and then again you back to again the miserable state, and you want another one, right? So you need to hold on to something better and more deeper, and that more deeper is all where we say that you connect to yourself. And it's not being yourself like an idle state where you're not doing anything. It's about identifying your personality, identifying your interest, putting your focus to the interest, and then moving ahead with it. Because all these worldly object can give you a very temporary pleasure. They all have very temporary pleasure. Like someone can have a pleasure in smoking, right? And the other person could be just hating that smoking. So the pleasure or the pain doesn't lie in the smoke, it lies in people's mind. And that this is a pleasurable thing for me because it just satisfies my need. The other one says that I hate it, it just actually brings my health down. So it's about the thought, that how you get yourself attached to these materialistic objects that you are surrounded with. And for the youngsters, you need to have more of a deeper and meaningful kind of a content, and over a period of time where they can be part of it and learn from it and grow. So it's not going to be one-off session where they come for a lecture and then again they be back to themselves. They need to get that imbibe in their body so that they know how to handle their life in a better way, is what I have to say,
Mm-hmm.
Kabir.
Okay, can I add something to this? Just one point, because as I'm working with youth, I also face the same problem most number of times. And I personally feel here that all this youth can do this. They can go and they can have that weed. They can spend so much of time with their friends and doing whatever they want, because this all is possible because they are provided with things. Okay, so my mission, Youth India 10X, actually help students to start early in their life. So when they have a taste of working for themselves and taking their own responsibility of their lives at a very early age, probably this can be taken care in the long run, or maybe on a bigger scale. So I personally feel that if things are provided, if things are available, they're so tempting that they will do it no matter what. Okay, the only solution to this is either we have to reduce the resources, or then deflect them into something to make themselves responsible, or something where they don't have an option. Okay, so I think that will also help in the long run. So we will surely connect, Kabir, for further discussion on this. Why not? We'll do that. So I think we should jump to the last question quickly.
Okay, I'll take the last one.
Yeah, I have so many questions here, but then let me just take it. Okay. Just a minute. Yeah, there's one question related to expectations. So expectation reduce joy and surprise increases joy. How to stop expecting? Now, I this is a big question, but then would you like to wrap it up in a minute for this?
So you need to understand that where is this expectation arising from? If I have expectation from my partner that he should set up my dining table, and I expect that from him, and he doesn't do it, and now he fails to that expectation, and now I feel bad about it that he doesn't care for me. Everything starts from the self, the expectation that you set. Think that, do you have this does he expect it, or you have this expectation from other people? So if you have the expectation from other people, the other person will not do well. He will not do as per your expectation, and you will find yourself in a miserable condition. So everything starts with your thought. It's all a matter of how you're letting your thought flow and get to a state where you get to anxiety. So like I gave that, I have this expectation that my husband should set up the dining table, and every time he doesn't, that I don't feel good about it. And if I've been watching him do that for like 5-6 months, and still he's not following it, I mean, there's a fight, could be argument, there could be other things. So go back to the original. Why are you banging your head with the person? That's his personality, that he doesn't set up the table. And it's your personality that you like setting up the table. So it's your expectation for your own self. Why don't you fulfill it to yourself? Why do you rely on other people to do it for you? And if it doesn't do it, you become sad. So it's all under control of yourself. So don't let that thought go outside you, and control it. And if you are fancied about setting up the table, go and set it up for yourself. But don't have that expectation. Don't keep it. I know it's easier said than done, but if you practice and practice and practice, you'll master it, because I have certainly done that. And initial years of my life, I had very, very difficult time having the expectations from so many people, those who loved me unconditionally. Still, I had expectations from them. The moment I understood that actually I'm expecting it from them and they don't even know, there's a thought that pops out in my head, I want these people to do this for me, and they don't even know about it. And now it has not done, and I feel nobody loves me. Mm-hmm. Now I'm reached to the point, no. Now the thought is going and I'm controlling. Stop it there. Stop. I know that monkey mind is playing with me. So I'll stop it. And my life is beautiful.
Yeah. Great. Thank you so much. That was the subtle and to the point answer. Also, I just want to add Amit saying, he asked a question that how to stop expecting. but then I think we need to balance the expectation. We cannot stop the expectation unless and like we are in a normal society. Okay, so yes, that's it. So thank you so much, ma'am, for coming up and sharing your knowledge. It was a wonderful one. People, I think they could connect, and there were so many comments. So yes, guys, if you have more questions, she's going to share her her details, and you can contact her. Also, if you have any feedback for the sessions, you can write in the comment section right now, so that we can quickly go through it.
Thank you, Sandeep, for
Yes.
doing a wonderful job, and like always you have been doing. So I look forward to do something in a collaboration, and I look forward that we can, bring that change or impact that we want to see in the youth.
Yeah.
Next. So thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much. Also, ma'am, I think you want to tell all the audience about the 21-day program which you're going to conduct.
Yeah, the mirror work exercise is actually a 21 days exercise. So if you want to be part of it, you can always contact me at the phone number that I gave or the email address that I shared, and I can certainly share you the further details about it. And it's a one-to-one exercise that I do with my clients and with my other people. So it happens once in a day for half an hour and 15 minutes to go through the journal exercise that I gave you. So maximum it has about an hour time duration with individual client that I spent.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much. So guys, just want to inform you that we have a community meet once in a fortnight. So every 15 days we have a guest coming up. So stay tuned for the next community meetup, and we're going to discuss some more things. Okay. I think Pankaj, so it's a paid one. Yes, Pankaj, you can contact ma'am and she will inform you about the details of it, the timings, and the payment for it. Okay, that's all. Thank you so much. And we are going to end it here till the next community meet. Hang in there, and we'll meet soon. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Take care.
I'm just here looking into the chat box, Sandeep.
Yeah, please, no problem. Go ahead.
Also, if you could share the recording by email, that'll be nice.
Yes, I'll do that.
Thank you, Sandeep. I'm leaving and I'll wait for your link to come, the recording.